Hey EG fans, this is Olivia Gastaldo, and today we have a very special interview with Hello Kitty Ricki. Ricki, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up?
So, as you know, we have Pride Month coming up, which for us queer folks is very important. It's a very important month for us. I really wanted to talk today about pride and kind of the topic of pride, how you develop pride in yourself, what kind of memories create pride, and also like the hardships that go into, creating confidence in yourself. What's your first memory of feeling really proud of yourself?
I would say my first memory about feeling really proud of myself actually came much later in life. A long time in my life, I had kind of no idea what being transgender really is. Me at the time, as a young adult, I was coming to terms with being that because I had already come out as being a young gay male, and to come out again was just kind of very daunting to me. And when I finally came out as transgender, I felt like my biggest sense of pride because I was able to finally tackle something and persevere over something that has been a big issue in my life, and not really initially not knowing who I was and initially understanding who I was, but finally getting to come out and being myself and being true to myself. Things that made me very scared to come out and very unknowledgeable was like everything I would see in the media when I was younger, and even like in my early 20s about trans people.
It's really sad how so many people out there, their visions of themselves are purely created off of what they're seeing in media. I think something that is exciting in this kind of conversation, like talking about pride, how did you develop your confidence? I feel like you're a very confident woman, and I feel like, that doesn't come instantly. Like, that doesn't just appear out of nowhere one day.
Ever since my high school years, I've always felt like I've always been a pretty confident and exuberant person. So I think I've carried that on like my entire life, and I had to like be on my own at a really young age. That's kind of one of the reasons I believe that helped me throughout this whole time of finding myself, because even though I didn't know exactly who I was, and I knew that I wasn't gay at the time, I've always still been a confident person in who I was. My community helped build my confidence, like the fighting game community, because I was always competing and playing and winning tournaments, and that always helped build my confidence. I attribute the community a lot to that.
I love that. I would love to talk more about community. Like, there's so much diversity in the FGC. That's beautiful to see, and I was wanted to be a part of that. And you kind of just paint me a picture of like what that community's like.
Well, the thing that I like most about the FGC when it comes to just queerness and just LGBT as a whole umbrella, I feel that they're so accepting. And when I back to being confident, I feel like when I came out to all my friends in the FGC, which I was terrified to come out as gay as a young kid, like, there wasn't one person that I knew that wasn't accepting. I feel like the community has this very terrible picture painted about it where they gay bash and they hate, and that's such a bad representation of the FGC. The bad apple that's in the FGC, I feel like usually it's always anonymous people. It's always people in chat, in like on Twitch chats. It's always people like in forums, on Reddit. People are negative always on those platforms to people, which is terrible. You shouldn't be. When you're actually in the community and competing and playing and making friends in the community, everybody I've ever met has been so accepting and loving. And it was exactly the same way to me when I came out as being trans. It was so easy for myself and for my friends to transition, because I've always said, like, when you transition, it's not just you. It's like it's everybody you know, because it's work for everybody. It was such an easy transition for me, I felt, and that's why I love the community, just because like they're just so welcoming and loving, and everybody who's LGBT in the FGC are so friendly with each other, and everyone kind of hangs out and chills together. Like, it's a really good vibe. I love it. I just love that about the fighting game community, because you're just accepting to everybody no matter who you are.
That's so beautiful. How do you define pride?
I feel like defining pride for sure comes down to just knowing who you are and being accepting of yourself and loving of yourself in every aspect of your life. I knew that I wasn't gay, like I was saying before, I knew that I was something else. And I feel like I defined pride in myself when I finally discovered myself and figured out who I was and was living my authentic true self. There's no way to be more prideful than that, I feel, just to be who you are it's a struggle. It really is a struggle to find out who you are as a person, it's for anybody, and to finally get to that crossroad where you're a young adult or an older adult or whoever, and to feel that sense of being and that sense of self. I feel like it's such a great feeling, and it just puts you at ease. It's very daunting as a young adult, going through like navigating your life and seeing everybody else live these normal lives, quote unquote, that you're kind of like, well, that I just kind of don't fit in that. So like, what the am I? Like, what am I? Like, what's going on here? It's very hard to navigate that when you're young.
If you could send a message to your younger self, what would that message be?
I would definitely tell myself to not let my identity at that time get to me too much, because you will find out who you are, and you will be loved, and you will understand who you are, because I spent so much time trying to figure out who I was and understand what I was. I mean, at one point I even thought I could possibly be a drag queen, because I didn't even know what the trans people were at the time, I feel like I would tell myself that in due time and with patience, you'll find out who you are. And I think you're not going to be disappointed when you find out, and you're going to be so much happier to just wait for it and be patient.
I wish I had more of that as a kid.
Right? Me too.
Such a rush to grow up, and now I'm here and I'm like, childhood is kind of nice.
Right? It's like patience is not only good in life, it's good in games, it's good in everything,
Okay, I have one last question for you. What are you looking forward to? Like, what is Ricki looking forward to?
I'm definitely looking forward to me building my streaming platform, because I've been streaming a lot lately, and I'm trying to grow my presence there to be an even bigger presence in the fighting community, and potentially try to help more LGBTQ kids. And I want to send a positive message out there to everybody, and I want my platform to grow so big that people will understand that, the FGC is a good thing, and if I can make it in the fighting community, then anybody who wants to enjoy games and have fun and play and compete and be professional can make it, That's my main goal right now, is to try to grow that platform. And of course, I'm looking forward to finally getting out of the house and competing again and going to tournaments again and traveling around the world. The FGC is a good place for LGBT, just as much as it's a good place for cisgender, straight, heterosexual people.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Ricki. I really appreciate it. It's been so rad talking to you. Do you have any last words for the fans?
Just love you guys, and I thank you guys for supporting me all these years. I've been competing for about 20 years now, competing professionally for 10 years, and you guys stood by my side this entire time, and it's been great, and I love you guys forever. Thank you for always being there for me.